Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Marcus Aurelius. Some books are undeservedly forgotten, none are undeservedly remembered. Wystan Hugh Auden. Be thankful for what you have, you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Oprah Winfrey. The two hardest tests on the spiritual road are the patience to wait for the right moment and the courage not to be disappointed with what we encounter. Paulo Coelho. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. Oscar Wilde. Sometimes we fight who we are, struggling against ourselves and our natures. But we must learn to accept who we are and appreciate who we become. We must love ourselves for what and who we are, and believe in our talents. Harley King. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. Steve Maraboli. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. Mark Twain. Forget yesterday, it has already forgotten you. Don't sweat tomorrow, you haven't even met. Instead, open your eyes and your heart to a truly precious gift, today. Steve Maraboli. Too much of a good thing can be wonderful. Mae West. What I'm not sure about, is if our lives have been so different from the lives of the people we save. We all complete. Maybe none of us really understand what we've lived through, or feel we've had enough time. Kazuo Ishiguro. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love, then make that day count. Steve Maraboli. Dance. Smile. Giggle. Marvel. Trust. Hope. Love. Wish. Believe. Most of all, enjoy every moment of the journey, and appreciate where you are at this moment instead of always focusing on how far you have to go. Mandy Hale. I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. People think pleasing God is all God cares about. But any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back. Alice Walker. Be thankful for your allotment in an imperfect world. Though better circumstances can be imagined, far worse are nearer misses than you probably care to realize. Richelle E. Goodrich. It's funny how, in this journey of life, even though we may begin at different times and places, our paths cross with others so that we may share our love, compassion, observations, and hope. This is a design of God that I appreciate and cherish. Steve Maraboli. I wonder if the snow loves the trees and fields, that it kisses them so gently. And then it covers them up snug, you know, with a white quilt, and perhaps it says, "Go to sleep, darlings, till the summer comes again." Lewis Carroll. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This place was truly the highest and the lowest of all worlds, the most beautiful senses, the most exquisite emotions, the most malevolent desires, the darkest deeds. Perhaps it was meant to be so. Perhaps without the lows, the highs could not be reached. Stephenie Meyer. Just an observation, it is impossible to be both grateful and depressed. Those with a grateful mindset tend to see the message in the mess. And even though life may knock them down, the grateful find reasons, if even small ones, to get up. Steve Maraboli. In societies where men are truly confident of their own worth, women are not merely tolerated but valued. Aung San Suu Kyi. Don't forget, a person's greatest emotional need is to feel appreciated. Horace Jackson Brown Jr. The problem that we have with a victim mentality is that we forget to see the blessings of the day. Because of this, our spirit is poisoned instead of nourished. Steve Maraboli. Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude. Gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thankfulness may consist merely of words. Gratitude is shown in acts. Henri Frédéric Amiel. Be happy with who you are and what you do, and you can do anything you want. Steve Maraboli. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Zig Ziglar. Those who have the ability to be grateful are the ones who have the ability to achieve greatness. Steve Maraboli. 10 long trips around the sun since I last saw that smile, but only joy and thankfulness that on a tiny world in the vastness, for a couple of moments in the immensity of time, we were one. Andrew Yen. You are evidence of your mother's strength, especially if you are a rebellious knucklehead, and regardless she has always maintained her sanity. Chris Jamie. Life is not made up of minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, or years, but of moments. You must experience each one before you can appreciate it. Sarah Ban Breathnock. We can't undo a single thing we have ever done, but we can make decisions today that propel us to the life we want and towards the healing we need. Steve Maraboli. I would rather be able to appreciate things I cannot have than to have things I am not able to appreciate. Elbert Hubbard. Admiration for a quality or an art can be so strong that it deters us from striving to possess it. Friedrich Nietzsche. The difference between appreciation and flattery? That is simple. One is sincere and the other is insincere. One comes from the heart out, the other from the teeth out. A grateful mindset can set you free from the prison of disempowerment and the shackles of misery. Steve Maraboli. The creative act is not performed by the artist alone. The spectator brings the work in contact with the external world by deciphering and interpreting its inner qualifications, and thus adds his contribution to the creative act. Marcel Duchamp. Thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. I say that a lot. Thank you expresses extreme gratitude, humility, understanding. Alice Walker.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe.